Ah, diablo. Ese Kratos va por los 500 pesos. Kratos, aparece un momentito por aquí, mi hermano. Solo le costó 1000 pesos nomás. No creo que vale tanto, cabrón. Y Lost Ark will only swap Paladin to Palusi. Palusi, which one is that? Nah, another 25 and I couldn't get there, but fuck it. I just grinded. Pero se pasó, ¿viste? Oh, de Female Palace, yeah. Ey, ¿qué está pasando, John Round, mi hermanito? Dios te bendiga, papi. El cato de Chile, bro, del día. El Sharp, that's gonna be like 3 people, 4 people, they're gonna get to level 21. That's big help, boys. That's big help, boys. Alright, I'm gonna be doing the interview on the Empress Arcana, guys. Alright. Questions later when we finish. My homeboy, guys.
Yo, what up, 4K?
Yo, what's going on? El Doherty, qué poderoso. Yeah, not much. Gadarsi, somebody just got to what's his name? Level 21. El Kratos. Y el Sharp va por ahí. Yo, you ready, Doherty?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Let me actually put this right here. They have the volume up. Let me double check. No, let me put him up. Alright, guys. Wait me 1 second. This is the second season, as I promised. We're gonna be doing the second engraving, so now we're just gonna get professional on the second engraving. And here we have Empress Arcana. Is one of my community members, and he's pretty good. He only plays Arcana, if you can see right there. He got like a bunch of Arcanas, 1710 giga chat. So it's the real deal, boys. It's the real deal. It's static members. Poderoso. Well, the floor is yours, Double T Poderoso.
All right, yeah. So I'll start off with the Ark Passives.
Hardest class in the game, one of them.
All right, and
oh shit,
there's 2. What?
The you go blunt turn. I didn't know. Nice.
Oh yeah, that's the cream of the crop right there, man. That's the whole build. Oh yeah, so there's 2 builds. I actually just recently switched. And it's the biggest difference is this Stream of Edge skill. I'll get into more detail later. But that does change some variations in the Ark passive. So for the evolution tree, obviously you go main spec. And then for the secondary stat, that's what changes. So if you do Stream of Edge, you do the substat as swiftness.
Oh.
If you go anything else, you should go crit. Yeah, because Stream of Edge will give you crit. So, yeah. And then everything else is basically standard. So the Boundless MP, Unlimited Magic, it's all mana cost reduction and skill cooldown reduction. And then Optimized Training, that's just a little more evolution damage with some more cooldown. And then, like you said, Bluntthorn, it's unfair how big of a damage increase this is compared to everything else here. If you can't, if your class can't use this, you're at you're a pretty big disadvantage, I think, because like the math that works out. If you look at like the bottom there, it says
70%
evolution type damage is capped at 70%. If you can hit that, it's so huge.
Yeah.
Where standing striker only gives like 10.5%.
Right.
Compared to 70. I mean, you do lose 20% crit, which does affect it, but that 70% damage increase is just too big to pass up. It's crazy.
And then Arcana has crit themselves, so a little easier to get there.
Yeah. So I ran the numbers. So without the call card, you're sitting around like 105% crit, which is a little low for Bluntthorn.
Yeah.
But you get the cheat, right? Cull Coal gives you plus 100% crit rate.
Right.
So that automatically caps you out on Bluntthorn. So for like big bursts and stuff like that, it's huge.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Damn, so it's almost always guaranteed to have the big dam.
Right. And then so with that Stream of Edge build, going swiftness, I mean that just it basically gives you a little bit more cooldown, right? So it adds like 10% cooldown because I think you have 2% base from whatever swiftness you have. And then it also gives you some additional attack speed, which you'll see later. That attack speed is helpful because I'm using mass increase for the minus 10% attack speed. All right, and then so I think that's basically it for
evolution.
Yep. And then Enlightenment. So if you're sub 1680, you can obviously only go basically up to here, right? And that gives you your base Empress Arcana, so your T3 Empress Arcana. It's basically the same. The only thing that is really different is this part right here. So Empress Arcana has the Call and the Judgment card as this, class specific cards. But this will increase the duration by 2%, 2 seconds. And that's huge when you're doing a burst, because I think the base is only 4 seconds.
So 6 seconds is big, yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, when you're trying to spam these 4 red skills with the Judgment card, having the additional 2 seconds, it just gives you more freedom. Plus, like the T skill, the cast speed of the T skill is like really long, right? So that takes up like 2 seconds. Yeah, exactly. So it just gives you a little bit more comfort with spamming your burst. And then so 1680 and higher, that's when you start unlocking some additional power, right? So the 4th line here, it's just a raw, I think it's like 6 to 7% per level here. Just on raw damage. And then you get an additional 2% cooldown per level. And then base 8% attack speed. So without this, I can feel the difference. The 8% attack speed, it definitely feels slower. So it's very useful to have this 1680 plus. And then any additional nodes that you have, this is where the variation comes in as well between the Stream of Edge and the Evoke build. So if you do Stream of Edge, for the side node, you choose this one. It just gives you an extra 2.7% damage and then some additional meter gain. If you use the Evoke build, you cannot use this because you see that minus 50% normal skill deck meter gain. So Evoke is a normal skill, and the whole reason you're using Evoke is for the meter gain from it. So for that, you have to take it out and put this instead.
Big notes.
A lot of people like this card, the new Knight of Empress. I personally do not like it. Yeah, so Empress Arcana is a little weird with how crit rate works. Your base crit is only like 60 to 65%, and then your skills have crit tripods on them. So you can see Celestial Rain, that first tripod gives me 45% crit. This one 40% crit. This one 44% crit at the bottom. So every other skill has really low crit rate. So Serendipity has really low crit rate. Your T skill has really low crit rate. Your Awakening has really low crit rate. And that includes that card, this Knight of the Empress card. So even though it's basically like free damage, it also gives you a free card when it hits. It never crits. It's really bad. And then on top of Bluntthorn, it's just I don't like it. I much rather have just the raw additional damage plus the meter gain.
That's big.
Right. And reading the Bible
Yeah.
in our heavenly ways, this ends up to be around like 1 to 2% of your main damage
Which is
anyway.
not
So
even that.
yeah, exactly.
What what is the comparison with the other one? Like the other one at the top? With that one, it's bigger. You can notice the difference.
Yeah, I mean it's in terms of the deck, the meter gain,
Yeah.
it helps because like I said, the evoke build is really nice because basically if you throw the 2 evokes, it
Right.
gives you 1 card. It's 1 full meter
Yeah.
every single time.
This is
And
good.
it's kind of nice because you can pre-cast evoke, you can, it's like additional stagger and stuff like that.
Right.
But switching to this other build, it's just the crit rate that you get from Stream of Edge is just way too huge with 1 thorn. So that's the main reason why I switched.
So guys.
Right. And then let's see. So the leap tree is so huge for Empress Arcana. Because this focuses on your T skill, right? It all enhances your T skill damage. Empress Arcana T skill is like 30 to 50% of your damage. It's so huge. People, they read the Bible and they look and they're like, man, your T skill did more DPS than I did.
Damn.
It's like, yeah. It's huge.
Yeah.
So the nodes here that you select, it's all focused around the T skill. So you choose the 15% T skill damage, 8% cooldown for T skill. You sacrifice 1 node for this. It's kind of quality of life. It increases the cast speed of your T skill by 8% and then reduces the mana cost by 60%.
What is the second one again? That one at the bottom? At the bottom? That one, yeah.
This?
That's the new one, right?
So this, that's post 1680 when you get Ancient Bracelet.
Right.
With Braille. I think you could do Relic Bracelet as well, but you can only get 1 level instead of 2. But yeah, once you get Ancient Bracelet, you can put 2 levels into this, and that increases your T skill damage by 40%.
Ooh. Que papita.
It is absolutely monster how this works out.
Yeah. Que chuguita, bro. Wow. Don't let it get to you guys. They just, it's a trap, guys. They just want you to get to 1680. Nah, just kidding. 1680 too strong, brother. 1680 too strong, brother. Ah, damn.
All right, and then on to skills and tripods. So, like I mentioned, I switched to the Stream of Edge build, but I think everything else is basically standard for Empress Arcana. So, Spiral Edge, you go 2/2/2 for the cooldown. This increases an extra stack as a stacking skill. Quick pace. This is really big because you use Raid Captain, so it increases your movement speed by 40%. It caps you out on Raid Captain.
Huge.
Call of Destiny, you go 3/3/2. The first one is basically useless. It just increases the casting speed of Call of Destiny. This one is a really big synergy, so it gives you ignore the 15% outgoing damage, but the on-hit crit damage plus 77% for 3 seconds.
Wow.
That applies to any skill you use right after this skill. It's really big. And then this just turns the skill into a stacking skill. Then Scratch Dealer, that's another stacking skill. So this is also your synergy for crit synergy. So you use Weakness of Exposure for the crit sin. This is just a trash. It doesn't really, it increases damage by 70%, but this does no damage. And then Safety Device. This is another self buff. So it increases your attack speed by 19.2%, and then your move speed by 30%. This also, this plus like the buffs from like your support and stuff,
it will cap
you out on Raid Captain as well. Yeah. And then you have your 4 damage skills. So, like I mentioned, these 3 have the additional crit rate, but Serendipity does not. So Serendipity, it's actually your strongest skill, but only under very specific conditions.
Wow.
It's a little weird. I'll get into that more when we go through rotation. But for tripods, it's 1-1-2. Some Arcanas use, instead of intended luck, they use this one that just increases the damage. Basically, what this does is there's already like a percent chance that it does additional damage.
And
I think by default it's like 80%.
Damn, that's a lot.
So this makes it 100%.
Oh wow. I have a question. So if it's the strongest skill, why is 10 instead of 14?
Yeah. So Empress damage is a little weird. I'll explain that real quick. So if I just use the skill, it just does like some base skill damage, right? Like that does 15 mil.
Yeah.
I just do so 15 mil. But if I put stacks on it, it does the 15 plus 100. So that extra hit is your identity damage. So that doesn't, skill level doesn't affect identity damage. It only affects the skill damage. So that, that 15 mil that you see here, that's what the skill number will increase, but it does not affect that big 100 mil hit after.
Okay. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna be asking a lot of questions. I don't play the second engraving, so I need to know everything. Papi, don't worry about it.
All right. And then we have Stream of Edge. So that you do 1, 3, 2. So this just adds more stacks to it. It's another stacking skill. This is that huge 27.6% crit rate. It's a self buff. It only lasts. It says it lasts 3 seconds, but the skill itself lasts a while as well. So it stays on the floor. You get this, and it reapplies.
Oh, so you always have it on, huh?
Yeah. I think there's like a 4-second downtime. So if I use it, it's on.
Yeah.
And then it finally goes away, and there's like 5 seconds.
That's okay.
Left.
That's okay, right? Yeah, that's really good.
Yep.
Can you get like a level 10 cooldown for that shit only?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I'm just about to do another Gamba. I'm gonna Gamba the cooldown. If I get a cooldown like level 9, I'm gonna
you'll put it there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because damn, imagine having that shit off time 100%.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Right. And then this last one, it just changes it to a triangle instead of, by default, it's like just a line.
Yeah.
So just more area, so the boss stays in it. And then you have these are actually your 3 main damage skills. So Secret Garden, this is all standard for Empress Arcana. You do 3, 1, 1, and then 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. The only really special thing here, like I mentioned, they all have the crit on it. And then this one is also special as well. So 4 of a kind, this Swift Preparation, there's a 55% chance for it to reset its cooldown. So that's really nice for just like filler skill. Like if you just want to throw something, like if your stacking skills are on cooldown or something, you could just throw it in. And then also when you do your big burst with the judgment card, you can put your stacks, and then sometimes, of course it didn't do it that time, but sometimes you can have that judgment card applied and just sit there and spam it over and over again.
Damn.
To have like 100 mil hits constant. So it's really, really good for bursting while the judgment card's up.
Is it a conviction judgment class or what about the runes?
Oh, yep. So the runes, you basically go wealth on all of your red skills except serendipity for the additional meter gain, because your red skills give additional meter with the 4 stacks on it. Serendipity, this is kind of preference, but I like Galewind on there. You're basically holding this skill unless you have a judgment or a cold card, so it's always up, and then the Galewind just basically helps it cast faster. And then for Stream of Edge and Call of Destiny, you put Poison and Bleed, just for the additional damage over time. I think those together add like, I don't know, like 2 to 3% damage, something like that. And then for Scratch Dealer and Spiral Edge, you put Legendary Galewinds.
It's nice. No? Conviction judgment class is a little sketchy, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really helpful for classes that have like longer cooldown,
rotation.
Like bigger skills. Like you can proc conviction judgment right before,
and then reduce it.
A skill with a really long cooldown. Yeah,
right.
It's mostly out for there. Or if you need like a mana regen and stuff like that, but
yeah,
we don't. Empress Arcana does not need that. All right, and then the gems. So gems, you put damage gems on all of your red skills, because those are all your damage skills. And then every other skill gets a cooldown except serendipity.
Oh,
that's just basically
that
standard.
One doesn't get the cooldown.
Yep, because like I said, you're almost never using serendipity unless you're doing a counter, or if you have specific cards to buff this skill.
Interesting.
The main reason is this is a damage skill, but it doesn't have that crit rate like the other skills do.
Yeah.
So you basically only use it when you have call card. Of course, I'm not going to get one.
Yeah.
So on base, it never crits, so it did 29 mil.
Right.
But if I use a call card on it, it did 228 mil.
Diablo.
So it's huge. You need this skill to crit for it to do a lot of damage, mostly because if you look at this tripod here, runes crit damage 504%.
Yeah.
So without it critting, it does absolutely nothing. The other time that I do use this skill is when I have Judgment Card, because if you look, it hits twice.
Right.
And each of those hits proc the rune damage. So I can use Judgment, and both times it proc the rune damage. So you can sometimes get lucky. One of them might crit, and it still is worth using during that burst, but yeah.
Damn, so it's this bearish, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's only good for really big bursts with like Cult Judgment and stuff like that. Other than that, it's just a counter.
That's good to know.
All right, and now engravings in stone. So I mentioned I use mass increase. That is specific to the Stream of Edge build. Like I said, that minus 10% attack speed. It's really big if you don't do the swiftness substat, and you can only do the swiftness substat if you use Stream of Edge, because you need the crit otherwise. And then everything else, Adrenaline, Grudge, Raid Captain, that's pretty standard. I mentioned Raid Captain.
Okay.
You max out the efficiency on that because of the tripods from Scratch Dealer and Spiral Edge. And then this is the one that you can swap out. So MP efficiency, right? You could use Curse Doll, or you can use stabilized status.
Yeah.
I personally don't like this because
you gotta pay attention.
Yeah, you have to like pot, and then if you atro,
yeah,
you can go under the percent. Yeah, it's not good. I don't like it.
Too much to manage.
I stayed MP efficiency because I bought the books already.
That's nice.
And I hate Curse Doll. I've used so much pots because of Curse Doll. The difference, even without the books, between Curse Doll and MP efficiency is like 1%. So it's not that big of a deal.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
For the rock, so I think this goes for like all classes.
Yeah.
You could basically just choose anything for the rock. I don't know why people like adrenaline
so much. Yeah.
When like adrenaline, if you look like the level 2 ability, it gives 0.6% attack power times 6. So it's like 3.6 instead of everything else gives like 3.75% damage. So yeah, me personally, I would choose anything except adrenaline as long as you have 2 of them.
Nice. As long as you get a 7/7 on anything, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Just 7/7 anything. All right, and then Awakening and the Hyper skill. Let's see. So the Awakening that Empress uses is Deathbound. If you look, it's a... Oh yeah, they changed it. It's not a rune skill anymore. But the damage increases with the spec. The more spec you have, the more damage this does. Plus, with the Cull card, it forces a crit, so it causes this to do quite a bit of damage. The alternate for Emperor Arcana, I do still use this in Chaos and before the fight to generate cards. It's like a free stim.
Right. What is the CM? A lot of people mentioning that before. I heard that this 4 CM was used. What is that? A CM.
That's one of my friends. He's just trolling. 4 centimeters.
Oh, okay. they said it. What I said. All right, I think. Hey, I wanna make sure I know, papi. What a giga chat.
So for the hyper, I mean, I'll use it real quick. It's that lady comes out and just swipes it. I think it's one of the faster.
Let me see it again. Let me see it again. Diablo, qué lindo.
Pretty big area, and it's pretty fast, and it's just a single hit. Yeah. So, in terms of, I hear people complain about the hyper. It's like, oh, it takes too long to cast, or like this is a multi-hit, so the boss moves, all this stuff. Like, I think it's really good in terms of
hyper awakenings are a little not garbage, but a little garbage. They took too long, but they're too long, and then you miss it.
Right. And then, like I said, for the T skill, I mean, the devil is a rune skill, so it's basically made for Empress. But like I said, the crit rate is a little bit low, so by itself, it actually doesn't do a lot of damage unless it crits. So like that, it only did 340 mil. But if it crits, it does a lot more. And then the best part is you can buff that skill's damage with your cards, which I'll get into that when I talk about rotation. But basically, if you save your cards for your T skill, it will do tons of damage. It's absolutely insane. Like I said, it's like 30 to 50% of your damage, depending on your cards. But yeah, on the Awakening, I do want to just real quick talk about like that free stim thing that I was mentioning.
Yeah.
Because I went a little El Cheapo. I used to stim before the fight every time, just for like the 2 random cards.
It gets to be expensive, right?
Yeah. It's just too much. So if you if you set up your presets, if you have like a raid and maybe like a chaos build, so I put awakening on my chaos build, and then these are, you could hotkey these. So like if I hit Control S, I switch to the other, my chaos set.
Interesting.
And it has this awakening, and then I can hit Control A to go back.
Wow.
So before the fight, I hit Control S, awaken, and then before it gives me the cards, I hit Control A, and then I get 2 Empress specific cards for free. And then my awakening's only on like a 2-minute cooldown. So it's really big for just, you know, saving a little bit before the fight and just starting the fight with those cards. Yeah. Even for Emperor, I don't know if you awaken before the fight, but yeah, like that other awakening giving you 2 cards is
I do that way. I don't have, especially because I'm 1640, so I need for the nightmare set, you know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't do that trick for a nightmare because when you swap sets, it makes the nightmare buff go away. So that's like Ark Passive specific, I think.
Now the Giga shot the rotation, babies.
Yeah, so for the rotation...
Is the rotation easy, bro? Is easy or not?
The rotation itself is not bad, right? Yeah. Like I've taught myself to basically, in general, there's stacking skills and then there's damage skills.
Okay.
So I keep my stacking skills, this W and E, in a pair. Those together will always put 4 stacks on the boss. So I always use those together.
Okay.
And then Q can be used twice. So I do 1, 2. It gives 4 stacks.
Yeah.
And then a red skill. So in general, it's always those 2 red skill, that one red skill.
Wow, okay,
right? And then you start adding on to that. So the A Stream of Edge, that's the crit sin for the self buff for the 27% crit rate. So my opener will be E, Q, W, F, Q, Q, S.
Oh.
And then from there, it's just rinse and repeat. You try to fit that pattern in as much as possible and stay on that track. And then sometimes you have to, instead of like your F, you have to use D.
Yeah. Oh, so I see what you're saying. That's good. But you always gonna alternate between one and another because one is gonna be up.
Right.
Que beautiful, diantre.
Yeah, I mean, it ends up working out in general. It's actually really nice.
Que beautiful. Wow, que fácil. I mean, it takes time, I get it, but wow, que lindo.
And then the complicated part is when you start throwing the card combinations.
No, yeah, that is when it gets complicated.
Right. But so just in general, so I know you probably know a lot of these cards already, but I like to think of the cards as like throwaway or immediate use cards, and then cards that you want to hold for specific cases, right? So 3-headed snake, that turns your auto attack into a stacking skill, basically. I use this right away. Mayhem, it increases your attack speed. I use this right away. Corrosion, it's some % chance to make you do a little bit more damage. I use it right away. It lasts 30 seconds. Joy, this decreases your active cooldown by some %. Up to 15%, it looks like, or 30%. So that one specifically you use right after your T skill.
Interesting.
Because it reduces your T skill cooldown. Just find one. Resources. Just used it. So I use it. It goes from 27 to 23.
Wow.
If I use it right after the T skill.
Oh, right after.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's because it's whatever the active cooldown is. So
wow.
like as soon as you use your T skill, it's on a 27-second cooldown.
Yeah.
So it reduces that by 30%. But if you wait until your T skill has like 1 second left, it basically won't reduce the cooldown at all.
you gotta use it at high seconds, at the highest possible, right away.
High seconds, and then if you have more skills on cooldown, the more utility you get, right?
Right.
It will decrease this cooldown and maybe
else.
like this cooldown, right? Twisted Fate. This is one that you hold. It only lasts 4 seconds, but it's a big damage increase. So you hold this for either your big F skill. This is your largest normal damage, or your T skill. Ghost, use right away. Cull is the best card for Arcana, for Empress Arcana. I'll show you specific rotations with this one in a second. Balance, this is also just one I use right away. Lasts 30 seconds, and it makes your stacking skills, instead of 2 stacks, it add 1. But since this one hits twice, it makes this one skill put 4 stacks on there instead of just the 2. Judgment, this is another one that I hold for a specific scenario. But in general, it makes all red skills do full damage regardless of how many stacks are on the boss. So for that one, I start with 4 stacks, make sure I apply my self buff. So the crit and this one. And then I use the judgment card and then spam red skills. And then it's really good if that 4 of a kind resets, because then you can keep
sending it, bam.
Right.
The tier 1, Papi Billy. The cash is annoying, right?
I'll just continue with the cards. Moon, this is another immediate use one. Decreases your cooldowns by 20%. It's pretty big.
It's big, yeah.
It applies to Awakening, T skill, all of your skills. Even your get up and your spacebar. It applies to that as well. Star, that's immediate use. It just basically gives you unlimited mana. It freezes your mana in place for 12 seconds. Clown. So Clown is a little special.
Right.
That will duplicate your most recently used card. You always hold this for
like a good card.
Yeah, duplicating another good card. So like I always hold it for either Cull, Wheel, or Judgment. Those are your 3 top
priorities
ones to reset. Sometimes you have to use it. Like for example, if you have a Clown and a Royal.
Right.
So Royal will give you 2 cards. I'll use Royal to get 1 card and then Clown the Royal to get another Royal.
Yeah.
It just gives you a ton of cards.
A lot of thinking, guys, huh? If you don't have the class, yeah, it's a lot of thinking. This is what goes in the process while playing the class. This is what make Arcana so fun.
And then there's Wheel of Fortune. So that's what we made that joke, right? They call me Double T. This allows Double T to happen.
Oh yeah, this is the real deal, right?
So it's really big for spamming your T skill. So I get a wheel. If I use that right before I use my T skill,
bang, and then bang.
Just comes back.
Right.
Then I can just use it again.
Right. Damn.
And then furthermore, if you get a Clown on top of that, you could duplicate the wheel and use 3 T skills. So just, yeah, it's pretty crazy the different card combinations that you could do.
If you, yeah, that's when everything lines up, then that's when the damage just go like, damn, what you ended up doing here in this?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's why people say like, man, your damage is like really good sometimes, and sometimes it's just like okay.
Yeah.
But then there's times where people are like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That boss just got melted, and it's because like when you
Everything
get a really
up.
good combo,
Right.
you'll destroy the boss. It's insane.
Those 300,000 openers in egg.
yeah, exactly.
The shield. It's fácil. It's hard to catch up after that.
So I just have some general tips also. So I mentioned for like the judgment card, or basically any cards in general. So when you use this, you can see the little buff icon here that it's active. So you can keep sending it with that judgment card.
Yeah, because you don't need
to go into the options. There are, I think it's here. Yeah, combat related settings with the buff priority. So this was really useful back when Nightmare was a thing, because you can set your set bonus high, and you can always tell like Nightmare will be all the way at the end here, if it's Nightmare or the other one, the Boundless, or whatever the other one was called. It was like Boundless and then Endless Magic or something. So you could prioritize the buffs and see things at the end.
Bro,
it's just easier to read.
So the stacks for the Death Blade, you can actually.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think that's this specialty bonus buffs. That's like any buff that you get from your identity. You set that to high, and it'll always be at the end there.
3 years playing this game wrong, guys. Don't be telling me that you didn't know that for shut up. You didn't know that either, brother. What the? Ain't no way, brother. The more you know, news to me indeed, my lord. Diablo, qué poderoso.
And then just some other Empress specific, or I guess it applies to Emperor too, but the big thing about these cards is when you use it, as long as the card effect is applied before the damage hits, then you're good, right? Like, so for example, if I want to use this Twisted Fate on my T skill, I don't use it before I cast my T skill. So I do this, I cast my T skill, then I use it right before it hit. So that maximizes the amount of time that you have that card active.
Yeah.
And you can like combo it. So you can apply the damage to the T skill, but then have that card active for more stuff.
Wow.
So like this is actually a really good example here. So I'm gonna start my rotation. I'm gonna hit wheel to reset my T skill.
Right.
I'm gonna call it right before the damage applies, and then I'm gonna continue reapply my synergy.
Right.
And then do a second T skill with the call applied. So this reset that.
Wow. Okay, grande, tío.
Self buff.
And then send it again. Qué poderoso.
Yep. So that's where the damage starts to get really crazy. And if you put Atro in that rotation, you go to the moon.
Qué poderoso. You guys don't understand, guys. What the
That's why, like, I tried Emperor, and there's not a lot of things that you could do right, like, with that. The only one that you really have is, like, the Sovereign, I think, or Chancellor, one of them, I don't remember. But, like, this, you apply right before all of your normal skills hit,
right?
Which is kind of similar, but it's different when you're T-skilling a call with, like, a Twisted Fate or something, and it just does, like, 5 bill damage just for one skill. It's crazy.
That's crazy that you use the card after you send the disc. That's insane. I never even thought about that in my entire life, brother. Yeah. You wanna do you wanna do a guardian at the end?
Yeah. Like we can. I just had a couple more.
Sure.
Tips. So,
yeah. Well, send it over. What the?
For like card combos and stuff. In general, I mentioned holding cards is good, but you definitely don't want to hold
too much, huh?
Too long,
right?
Because you'll waste your meter gen. So if your T skill's on cooldown and you have 2 good cards, you should just send one of them. Yeah. Typically, you want to send it with Celestial Rain. That's your biggest damage skill. But if you have a card combo with that, you should send both of them to maximize your T skill damage. And then something else about the Judgment card. So I'm okay with using Judgment by itself.
Yeah.
Mainly because if you use Judgment by itself, it will actually give you 1 to 2 more cards in that rotation. So you send it. If you get 4 of a kind resets, that's almost 2 cards, right? That's 1 and then basically another card. So if I send 1 more skill, that's 2 cards.
2 cards. Yeah.
Let's see. And yeah, from there it's basically just learning the different combinations, right? So the absolute best combinations would be call and wheel, because you can double call your T skill. Maybe even throw like an awakening in there as a starter. Right? So you can wish you could just choose cards here.
I don't know.
So you can actually the best opener to build adrenaline is to queue in. So you do this for movement speed, you build 2 adrenaline stacks, you do this, awaken, call right before that hits, wheel T skill, and then do your rotation again for the second T skill. And that's basically the best opener you could possibly get on Empress. And then there's tons of different variations of that, right? So there's Cold Judgment, that's another obviously good one. Cold Twisted, Judgment, basically Call, Wheel, Judgment, and Twisted. Any combination of those, there's different variations on like min-maxing your rotation for them. But yeah, just in general, those are really good combos.
Yeah. So in my opinion, right? So the priority will be like getting good at the rotation, then getting good at the card selection, right? Because once you have the rotation on point, right, then the card selection will be with experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're just getting.
You need to be able to do this basic rotation without thinking about it at all.
Right.
Because if you're sitting there staring at your skills, like, oh, what's up? How do I do this?
Right.
Then, like, you're not going to know what cards are up. You're not going to know anything, what's going on. Another thing is the card buttons themselves. You cannot use Z and X. There's no way. Because you're constantly sending all of these other skills.
Right.
So I have Z and X mapped to my mouse buttons. So I can use the cards while I'm pressing other skills, right? You can see I'll just...
what a fiend, bro.
So I could just keep sending cards while I'm doing the rotation.
Diablo, what a fiend, bro. No puede ser, hermanito. Se pasó a otro nivel, papi. Ya, diablo. Wait, what?
Yep, I have those mapped to my mouse buttons, and I can just keep sending them while I'm doing it.
Se le fue la mano un poquito, tío. Wow. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. I'm sweating just looking at it. Diablo, que fue puta. Yeah.
I think that's everything. I'll just end with like a 2-minute verse or something.
Diablo, que poderoso. Ain't no way, bro. That's crazy. Damn. Yeah, the rotation is beautiful, bro. Ah, qué lindo. Ah, qué bonito. Ah, qué bonito. Yeah, he's gonna do a guardian. No, he's gonna do a guardian. Wow. That's crazy, cabrón. Quedo sorprendido, bro.
I hate Trixie on parses because I always run out of mana, but it never happens in a raid.
Damn. Actually slaps, huh? That's without a support or anything, but that's crazy, man.
Stupid mana.
Yeah.
And yeah, that other build with the evoke instead of Stream of Edge.
Yeah.
I mean, it has its own uses.
Gameplay.
I think. Yeah, but I think in terms of min-maxing, like if you can be 100% up with this Stream of Edge, or not up, but like never miss that, I think this build in general does like 10% more damage than the other one.
Imagine reading reading the chat and playing this class. When I play my Arcana, I don't read the chat, bro. I don't think you can. Well, you can, but the thing is that you have to pay so much attention because of your card. So that only one the split second that you miss, you can miss the whole rotation. Sometimes I send the cards right away and I'm like, bro, I just needed to wait like one more second, and it just is what it is.
Yeah, I think on Emperor the timing of like that sovereign card is huge, right? Like you have to use that at the right time.
Right. But now I know about the call. Even on Emperor, when I send the evoke, like the evoke, pam, 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 I will send the call after I do the evokes. Because I was sending a call before I was doing and then I was.
Oh yeah.
Wow, bro, that's actually big, low key. That's huge, dude. I love interviews, bro. I'm gonna learn so much, guys. It's not even funny. You guys crazy or what? They need to be taking notes, papi. You wanna do a guardian so we can see? Anybody has any question, guys? Any questions? Diablo, qué poderoso Double T, bro. In heart rate, he doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah, I can't, man.
That's why he doesn't want to take the lead. He's like, nah, I'll give you the lead. I need to focus on. He's gonna keep sending it. Holy fucking shit. Somebody join, guys. A support and DPS, please. So we can see it in action. Somebody join, please. Oh, you got pocket healer, right? Nice. I can support DPS. You got pocket support, baby. Qué fácil. I gotta walk my goldfish. Be right back. Why you mean? I'm live, but it's for fun, the shit, bro. Don't worry about it. Be about it. Level 16. Come in and Shadow Hunter, alright? Halo, Gordecitao, trae todos los personajes que tú quieras, mi hermano. Por ayudarme de esa manera tan injusta, brother. Líder, acepta.
You coming, Jorge?
No, I'm chilling here. I'm watching the show, baby. I don't want to get clapped all like that. I learned my lesson, baby. I'm good. Yeah. Amat de chill. That's brother. Oh, shit. Damn, break it. Break it be slapping, okay, right? Yeah, fuck it. I want to see these numbers, bro. These numbers gotta be crazy, though. Yo, thank you all the people that are helping me with the sponsorship. Super huge. Biggest W in the history of the game, guys.
Yeah, the one thing about Scorpion, though, Arcana doesn't benefit too much from that cooldown.
Ah, yeah.
From that big burst phase.
What
so my numbers are a little lower on that. Yeah, the T-skill, I mean, it has like an 8-second cooldown.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad, but other classes definitely get a lot more benefit.
Yeah, because of the skills, big skills plus the T-skill, you know?
Yep.
Claro, viste qué poderoso como usó el esto, el set. Qué grande, tío. $500 mamellazos de shield. 400 mame, 300 mamellazos de shield. $400. It's good. I saw it. What is Ooh. I'm Billy.
I didn't bring arrows.
Yeah, the cooldown benefit classes with longer cooldowns. Yeah. My finger hurts watching this. Yeah, it'd be like that, brother. Oh shit, you see the D reset like a few times. Huh? $1.6 billion. Diablo. Pregúntale si le duelen los dedos. If your finger hurts. Nah, he been playing Arcana for a couple of years, papi.
It's built-in carpal tunnel for sure.
He's already used to it, brother. Damn.
That breaker beat me though. The stupid cooldowns.
Hey, oh yeah, that's
like a fighter.
That motherfucker probably hitting crazy, right?
Yeah, I should have infected him. He must have been juiced.
He probably was super juiced up, dude. What the hell? What? I don't even know if it was BK or Asura, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm deleting my Arcana. I can't do it just you can do it like this. It's hard, bro. Hard, man. Dude, the fact that he got the cards on the mouse too. It was BK? Wow. 94, 98 on cards. Diablo. I'm too old for that shit. El Matero shit. Yeah, well, Doherty, thank you so much, bro. I'm like in shock, dude. Like, what the fuck?
You ready to swap?
No, I don't know about that, brother. I think I'm gonna stay Emperor, brother. You scared me away, brother. I don't think I can catch up, baby. I don't know. Maybe I can practice. Good stuff, double T, right, guys?
Yeah, man. No, I definitely practice a lot of time in Trixion with the rotation and then just maximizing that card usage, man. It's huge.
Yeah, no, but the rotation, like I'll just say, the rotation seems pretty smooth. It's just I guess it's practice, right? Like you have to put some time to it, and then I guess it comes second nature, you know. But anyways, much love, brother. Thank you for taking time and helping us out. Claps in the chat, guys. Big W to the double T. And thank you.
No problem. Anytime.
All right. Take care, boss.
All right. See you on stream.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Yeah. Pablo. Qué poderoso, brother. Dude, it's a fin, bro. It's a fin. He got the key bindings right here on the mouse. So he can do the cards while he's doing the rotation on the hands. Nah, bro, you crazy? That's insane. Jesus. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it indeed, my lord. I have my hyper awakening on the mouse, but not like skills and shit like that. I mean, I guess it's like WoW. I have a skills like that in WoW. I didn't even know that you can set up this shirt right here. What he did.